Okay, so I'm going to do something a little bit different that I've never done before. So this year I am going dressed up as Negan for Halloween. So we got a little bit of a makeover to do. We'll be applying stubble, and it will be crepe wool applied with spirit gum, and it's not going to be painted on. I'll also be using some colored mousse to color my hair black. And then I'll be probably doing some liquid latex to add some wrinkles and everything. So, and got some Jack's pomade to slick my hair back and everything. The mousse might do it, but I just thought, well, this would be a little extra guarantee. So, I do have some gloves, and I'll have to be extra careful since this is the shirt I'm planning on wearing. I just didn't want to try to pull it over the top of this colored hair because I don't know what the hell's going to happen with it. Because I don't think I'm going to try to dry it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, just shake this up real good. And I just got out of the tub, so my hair is still slightly damp, so. Now I have to make sure I have enough of this left over for Halloween Day, so. For being black, it comes out like gray colored. So I think I'll take my glasses off. And it does nothing. And I've always heard covering up white is a bitch, so this may take longer than normal. And normally it's stuff when my hair is wet, it will look a little darker than normal. I just don't want to get this stuff all over my face. I've had hair this color since I was 20. Actually, even then it wasn't black, it was brown. So, let's see, gloves off real quick. And I wasn't sure if this stuff would dye my hands or not, so I thought I'd just be safe and wear the gloves. It is darker than what it was. Still have a little bit on the side here. Make sure I got the back of it. And looks like it. So, let's comb this back. Like I said, it is going to take some pomade to get my hair to calm down. And I see I missed a spot. And right there you can see what happens and stuff when you get a little too much of this on your skin. Get a piece of paper. Okay, now I'm gonna apply some of this pomade. This stuff is like really thick. I think I better turn the water on now so I can get off my fingers. Not big enough. Okay, and I got this to put over the sink so hair doesn't go everywhere, because believe me, it will. And I took this ahead of time because Negan basically has like more black in his mustache and then more white here on the sides and a little bit darker right in here. So I took and blended some colors up. So it's mostly white in this one, then mostly black and brown with some gray in this one. So what I'll do is I'll put this over the sink. Try to catch all the runaways. And I need a pair of scissors. Turn over here. And some Q-tips to apply this with, because it doesn't have a, this bottle does not have a brush. So, plastic cup, I'm going to put 99% alcohol, which I did have to order that. And that's what you use to clean, well, to clean my fingers and stuff in between stuff, because you have to pat this to get it to stick. I'll show you after we get started what I'm talking about. And then I'm also going to get a cup to put the spirit gum in. And this is Maron spirit gum. So just put a little bit in the cup, and that's probably enough. And I'll start with underneath. You want to start here and work your way up and forward. And I am going to go down under here to get up underneath my chin. So since I know Negan's hair under here is more white, that's what I'm going to start with. So as you can see, this is just lengths of this. And what I'll do is I'll pull it off, and then I'll go ahead and apply the spirit gum and tap it till it gets tacky. And then I'll cut this and put it on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I need to comb this hair down again. What I'm going to do is go ahead and let that tack up some. And then after it sets, I'm going to go back and I'm going to trim it so it's actually stubble instead of like a beard. So first thing I want to do is get a little spirit gum up underneath here. You don't have to use like a ton of this, but don't be super stingy with it either. Just kind of on my double chin. So put that on there, and I want to keep one finger kind of clean stuff because I'll tap. See, you just want like a tapping motion. And you can tell when it starts to get sticky, because then your skin will kind of start sticking to your finger. And it can change, starts changing sound. Okay. Then I have that alcohol and stuff to keep my fingers clean. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this. No, probably what I'll do is I'll probably take about this much of this and just cut it off straight right there. So just kind of spread it out a little bit, and you actually want to just stick it in that. Just kind of shove it up in there. And just stick the cut-ins in there. If you stick it against there real flat, then the hair will stick actually into the glue, and then you'll look silly. Because it'll look like you just glued hair to your face instead of actually having whiskers. So we'll cut off another little bundle. Spread it out some. And what I'll do is, after I go through this, stick this where the glue is at. Then I'll go back in. After this is good and set up, I'll go back in, and if there's any loose ones, I got an old toothbrush, and I'll actually go through and comb out the loose ones. And then just work your way up. And I did have contacts at one time, and for the life of me, I don't know what I did with them. But I'll probably take my glasses off, unless I have somewhere I have to really, really see. Because we are planning on going up to the bar. They're not having a Halloween contest, but if you go up there tonight and stuff, you get discounts on your drinks. So if you're dressed in a Halloween outfit, so why not? Okay. All right, we're tacky. When it starts pulling the hair off from where you put it on before, it's tacky and it's time to quit. Okay. And just another little bundle. Now you can tell I still got some on my finger because it pulled some of the hair out. And after this tacks up a little bit more, I'm going to take and actually kind of brush this into place. So. The longer I can let these sit in that spirit gun before I start messing with them, the better off. Because when you do that and stuff, then it's not as easy to pull them loose.
Honey, I'm going to church.
Okay. See you in a little bit. Okay. This spirit gun is sticky stuff. You can kind of see where I'm headed with this. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan has like a little soul patch right here. And my lips are not as wide as him, so I'm going to have to go farther from one side to the other than normal. And the worst part about this is when you get up around your mouth, is trying to keep this out of your mouth. It's really kind of a pain. Okay. It's like I said, keep this glass of alcohol so I can keep my fingers cleaned. Okay, whiskers. Whiskers. Looks a little crazy and unruly right now, but we're getting there. Negan does have the right here and stuff. After his soul patch is kind of bare right here, and then a thicker hair in the middle. And this looks pretty thick right now, but when I trim it down and stuff, it'll get down a lot closer where you can actually like see the skin. Okay, you can already tell and stuff that this under here is stuck pretty good, so. Alright, now what I want to do is get just a little more of the white. Okay, you can see right here at my chin where this goes, I'm going to put more white in that location. Oops, fingers are sticky. Yeah, it's sticking. If your fingers get sticky and stuff, it's almost impossible to handle this stuff, so. Okay, and then right up here. Okay, now I'm trying to tap down the base of the hair. Okay. And let's see. Just because I may need some of this, I'm going to go ahead and trim some of this up. And what I want this to look like and stuff, I don't want it really to look like a beard. I want it to look like stubble, razor stubble, well, 2 or 3 days growth at least. And right now, if I trim it up just a little bit, it'll be easier for me to apply the rest of the the hair. As you can see, I'm taking this pretty short, so. Okay, just so you get an idea, I'm going to go ahead and comb this some. I suppose if you had a pair of clippers, you could probably just use those too. Okay. Get the hair out of there. I still got some trimming I'm gonna have to do, so. That. Get the idea. If you take your time doing this, you can create some pretty realistic effects. I have to put some more up there. But I am gonna do some makeup on my neck and stuff to make it look like stubble, but let's see kind of where it looks like stubble rather than like a whole lot of beard growth. I've got some long ones in there I'm gonna trim. But I do have two pairs of dog clippers. I'll make it those. Okay, I think I better quit before I end up cutting all of it off. So, now, a little bit more up in here before I get to the little soul patch part. But it's like if you kind of comb those down and trim them now and stuff, then you're not fighting it so much when you try to apply the rest of it, because then it's kind of out of your way. I found that out practicing the hard way, when it's all sticking in your fingers and you wonder why. And once again, I'm going to go with the mostly white. And do try to space them out. If you get clumps and stuff, then just kind of space them out a little bit more if you can. That one's loose. If you want to, you can take and tap some of that in with scissors or something. And then you get it up around your nose and it tickles like hell. Okay. And you can see there's a bald spot right in here, so. And when you put that in there, if you kind of wiggle it back and forth, you can kind of seat it down on that spirit gum better. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, hopefully this video doesn't take forever, so I'm going to go in here and try to trim this stuff back from my lips. Okay. And I may get something, and if I got stray ones that don't belong, you can just go in there and pull them out. Just be careful and don't pull out a big wad of hair with it. Okay. Now his soul patch up here is a combination of black and the black and the white. So, just like I said, I'm going to have to go farther across my mouth because my bottom lip is not as white as his. And this part in the mustache is where it gets tricky to do, because it's hard to keep this stuff up your lips. And when it gets up on your lips, it's really kind of a pain. Okay, let's push that down out of the way. I got hair everywhere. Now I know why women bitch about guys trimming up in the bathroom. And I'm going to put a little of this on at a time because I have learned that trying to put a big wad of this on all at once just makes it hard to handle. And this will be trimmed up as well. And I'm just going to stick that straight out for now. Some over on this side. Spread it around a little bit. It's like I said, now we'll trim that to shape, so it's not going to be one big connecting mustache or soul patch. So like I said, when you cut this off, make sure you cut it off nice and even. And then pinch it with your fingers. And stick it up in there. Okay. Alright. Now the sides, stuff he's got some darker that goes down through the sides here. That I've got just a few spots in here that's just a little bit darker than the rest of it. So put that all down. And try to avoid getting the stuff in the hair that's already there, because if you do, it'll gob it up and make it into a wad. And it'll look really fake. Okay. And I did get the rest of my outfit done today, so I got my gun belt thing with the knife holder on it. And I got my bat. Okay, it's tacky. I got the mix that's got just a little bit darker in it. I'm probably going to mix the two. Okay, if you need to mix these and stuff, like I said, I mixed most of it up the other day, but just go ahead and just kind of fold them around with each other, overlapping and then everything. And it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. If you can blend it and stuff, and then what I did is I had a old brush and I stacked them together, and then I would run it across that old brush and then reshuffle them to get them to blend up real good. I think that's actually long enough. I can cut that off and use it for the next batch. And the thing with this spirit gum is you don't want to overdo and do a whole bunch of your face all at once and then try to go back, because it will dry and it won't do any good. And once you get halfway decent at applying this stuff, you can actually cut the pieces shorter. Some people actually just cut little stubble and stick it on there, but a lot of times I think the hair's glued flat to your face, and whiskers don't grow flat to your face. Hopefully you can kind of see where I'm going with this. And as Negan's beard up on the side, it's pretty sparse. So I'm going to go pretty sparse putting that in there. And it's mostly all white in that part. See if this is... See, I've almost waited too long. It's not tacky anymore. Okay, now I'm starting to get up around the mustache area, the side of the mouth. So I'm going to actually cut these a little more of an angle. Comes roughly like a 45. And start working those in. And I am going to go get that set of clippers. Okay, dog clippers. So let's see what happens. Yeah, take the guard off. And this is just be real careful. Okay, you can see where I'm going with this, and so I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to continue on, and maybe when I get to the mustache part then I'll turn this back on, but let me finish up and then we'll be back. Okay, I'm ready to apply the mustache. So start at the corner. And Negan's mustache is pretty thick and it's mostly black, so when you apply the mustache, you actually want to start and have the hair kind of cut at an angle. So instead of being straight off, because I'm going to put it in at an angle. So and I want to tap that in. And it's real easy to get this mustache hair in your mouth. So I probably won't be doing a whole lot of talking here. Okay, and go glue my mouth shut. So you can kind of get the idea. Okay, and I'm going to do the Alright. I have to touch up a little bit more on here. I'm not sure. And I think I'm going to try the clippers on this and stuff, and I'm going to get them down as low as I can. And I got a couple bare spots in here and stuff, but that's alright and stuff because, like I said, there may be a few spots I want to touch up, like maybe in here or whatever. But for the most part, most guys are not going to have a perfect beard. Every once in a while you will find a guy that can grow a perfect beard, but for the most part, no. And probably after I get done with all this, I'll probably hit it with just a little bit of hairspray. So I'm going to continue this side and stuff when I get done. We'll start in with the latex to start the wrinkles. Okay, the beard and mustache is complete. So now I'm going to do the wrinkles with the latex. This is the only thing about this crepe hair. It like gets in your mouth like something bad. I may just have to have a beer and eat something later. The mustache and stuff, I haven't got the complete trimming done on it yet and stuff, simply because of the fact that I just applied the last of the middle part right here. I start from the sides and work my way up. So anyway, so like I said, I'll probably hairspray this just a little bit. I got some chunkies. Got just a little too much dark on this one side, but that's alright. So Negan has some wrinkles around his eyes and some on his forehead. So if I can get into this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to... What you want to do when you put this liquid latex on is you want to stretch where you want it to wrinkle. You want to stretch it tight and then dry it with a hairdryer. So, and if you want a really drastic look, you can apply more. But, let me just see where I put it. Need to dry a little bit more, but hopefully you can kind of see what that does. Causes the... Oop. Okay, as you can tell, I've gotten quite a bit farther than I was the last time. Battery in the camera died, so anyway, I've got the mustache and the beard completely done. I put some latex around my eyes and stuff. The one latex I don't particularly care for because it seems like it clumped up really bad. The other stuff took forever to dry. So I've gone in with my natural, where my natural creases and stuff are in my forehead and here between my eyes. And right now I'm darkening up my eyebrows. And I also put in the creases and stuff from the corners of my nose to the mustache. I do have a picture of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, or Negan, here that I am referencing. So, kind of have an idea and stuff where I need to go with everything. So anyway, so I've got some different color foundations or blushes and stuff. I got some dark stuff to do some contouring, and then I've got a triple colored one here and stuff, so I can do like some almost like sunburn type stuff, and then highlight the higher areas. So you can just sit here and watch me do my makeup if you want to. It's really hard to do this and stuff because I wear glasses and I can't see what I'm doing with my eyebrows. So I'm basically just kind of taking a guess. I mean, I can see it somewhat, but it is hard to... I did have a pair of contacts at one time, but I have chronic dry eyes, so the contacts really didn't work out too good for me. Oops, a little too much. So, needless to say, coming from the outside on that one. Too much of an arch. One thing I noticed and stuff with Jeffrey Dean Morgan's eyebrows and stuff, while they're kind of bushy, they're relatively flat. There's not an arch or anything to speak of. I think I just need to go a little bit further out. Maybe getting dull, I don't know. And I imagine probably want to go back in with this. I'll darken a little bit of that up. Okay. Yeah, it's got a little makeup sponge with it. So what I'm going to do with this darker color is I'm going to come in and kind of the sides of my forehead and everything. And this is actually, I would say, is just like an ethnic makeup. So it would be for like, you know, black folks or East Indian or something like that. And it's going to seem a little dramatic and stuff. Like I said, the lighting in the bar is going to be a little dark, and I'm going to have to, oops. I could probably put my glasses back on now so I can see. And use the other side of this for this color palette. And I'm just going to kind of calm these wrinkles down a little bit. They're a little bit much. Try to blend that dark in on the side some. And as I said, I don't really like the way that latex turned out. And I'm going to go with a lighter color down the center of my nose. And then take a little of this dark color kind of on the sides. So I have a bump here on my nose that he does not have, so. And I think I tap these eyebrows just a little bit, calm them down some. So, gotta calm this down just a little. My cheeks are red from the alcohol and stuff.
I'm afraid it's going to break your face out, so it fears.
I don't think so. There we go.
Robert and Leah going down there?
I think so, yeah. Alright, so now I got some loose powder, so I'm gonna... It's got a hole in it, don't it?
That's different. Good grief, it's taking a long time.
Some wild stash here. I need to...
It's awfully dark compared to, you don't have hardly any white in that stash, do you?
No, there's some white in it.
What's he eating? Buddy, come here. Come here.
Calm the eyebrow down just a little.
Was your eyebrows, or did you add hair to them?
Hmm?
Did you add hair to those?
Well, I tried to and stuff, and then it got a little crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's not that red. That's full of them.
Okay. Well, I think the makeup part's done. I may have to do something a little bit more with the hair. But I'm going to go get my outfit. And then I'll show you that after I put my pants on. Okay. First thing I'm going to start with is the scarf.
Those first.
And we have his belt. So, here's my knife. This one way low on the side. Oops, I'm covering up my bullet. I had to make these and stuff. This is a Walmart belt. Basically, I took and stitched these individually, and then there's a little cardboard, little circle things in there to stiffen it up. And I couldn't find the regular Negan boots. I mean, they had them in like a girl size. They were like riding boots. So this is the next best thing I could find. And they do zip up, so it'll be easier to get on and off. Watch it, Mommy's gonna smack you with Lucille. So, these. And my pants legs in. Everybody knows Negan by the jacket. And Asians run super tiny because this is a 3X. And I barely fit in it. Okay, no fat jokes.
Break the zipper. What's the belt supposed to be on the outside?
It'll look right below it. I will shut that shit down. Did anybody hear the story about Rick, the little prick who thought he knew shit and didn't know shit and got everybody he liked killed? I'm talking about you, Rick. Going to the bar now.